So I'd like to know if, growing up, the relationships you had with family members, parents, or older siblings, did any of those relationships and their relationships with others kind of help mold the way you think about like your partner and how you see your future relationship? Y'all following me? I feel like I kind of mixed that up. Yeah, like growing up, the type of like people, the relationships that you viewed or looked up to, is that something you incorporate?
It better not be on green again.
What you see in your partner?
Do you want me to do it again for you?
No, it's on green. You can't do it again. You can't do it. No, you can't.
It's our birthday month. If it ain't on me
Bree.
again, then it's just...
It's on Bree.
Well, it would be Amber if it wasn't you, and I don't think Amber wants to go first, so it's all you.
Okay. I definitely think the interactions and the relationships that you have with your parents kind of like mold how you see a partner, or like, let's say the interactions that you may see of your parents, whether you have like a single parent or like you grew up with both parents in your household, just seeing the way that those interactions are kind of mold you into what you want for your respective partner. But I also think on the flip side, when you see those interactions or those relationships that may not be the best, it kind of lets you know what you don't want in a relationship. Because I know with my mom is a very loyal person. But I also feel as though she's loyal, and it's like she like yearns for a partnership, but it's almost like a double-edged sword because my mother's been burned before. So she's just like, I can do it by myself. I don't need nobody else. It's cool. I'm fine by myself. I'm good. I'm good. Seeing her just be so like headstrong and it's just like, I don't need nobody to do for me. I could do this by myself. Like, that's cool. I know how to do for myself. I know how to fend for myself, things like that. But I also know at the end of the day, I want companionship. Yeah. Like, I want a partnership. I want a family. I want to know what is it like to raise children in a 2-parent household, because that's not something that I ever had. So, like, I have a little sister now, and she's being raised in a 2-parent household. So, I just feel as though, like, her experiences with, like, our parents is totally different from mine. So, it's just, like, it's just those little, like, tidbits where it's just, like, okay, yes, Mom, you raised me to be this certain way, but I hear you, but I just don't want to be so headstrong and not wanting someone that I ultimately end up like alone, because I think that can kind of be your demise.
I don't think that really shaped me too much in my view of love, because I don't think so. I don't think it has an impact on me at all. What I do notice though is like similarities between like my brothers and my little sister and their dating habits and my habits. In my dating habits, I see a lot of similarities in it. And it makes me wonder, like, maybe if something in the house or some type of way did all impact us away, but from just looking at my brothers and sisters' dating habits, I didn't learn anything from that. Or from my mother and father, I don't think I learned anything from, like, or that impacted me in no type of way either, to be honest.
So you're saying that nothing as a child
that's pretty short.
To you,
that's short and sweet to the point. Cool.
Contributed to how you see relationships?
Not at all. Not one bit.
I mean, but even like when Bree said in the beginning, like you learn like things that you know you don't want. Because I
didn't even learn that though.
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
So how do you feel when do you feel as though you learn what you wanted and what you did not want in a relationship? Let him answer.
Whenever I got into a real relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because before this, like, I never relationship wasn't an Andrew thing. I mean, what, like, that was
no.
What?
Drew, you're the relationship motherfucking king. You might not do it correctly, but you stayed in a relationship. Nigga, you've been in relationships since I met you. Since I've met you, you've been in a relationship, except
But
when we
the
live
thing is-
together.
but the
My
thing
nigga,
is,
you
okay.
might not do them correctly, but you be in relationships, nigga. That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Yes, that's
Wow.
what you do, nigga. I have not
But,
known you to
But
not
maybe that's
be in a
something that
relationship.
you do. Like, are your parents still together?
No,
No.
They're not.
Did you grow up with your parents together?
I grew up with my parents physically together, but not together. If that make any sense,
They were never.
So you could
But-
tell.
but
You
you
could
still-
tell they weren't together.
huh?
So you could tell they weren't together, but they were like still
Yeah.
together.
Still together.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I feel as though that can still kind of like play a role into just wanting someone
I'm not saying.
around.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking because I mean all that. Of course, that affects so many. Like, of course, that have probably affected me in some type of. But me being, I mean, of course, if I was to dig deep, I could figure out how my dating habits correlate with my parents' relationship. Of course, you can do that with anything in life. But as far as that, I can say I can relate anything from their relationship to mine presently
that
or
sounds
my
like the
dating
religion
habits.
topic.
I couldn't really correlate the two. But of course, if I was to sit here and say how that impacted, of course, you'd be able to find a connection with any type of. I mean, if that makes sense, like if you look at it like that. But to say directly something from my mother and my father that I impacted my current relationship or past relationships, there might be similarities, but there's not like. It's nothing like I don't think nothing that like impacted me fully.
Nothing. No sort of impact.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
it probably did have an impact because everything in life, especially something important like your mom and dad and the relationship, probably did impact me. But what I can say off the bat, I don't know. I mean, maybe it might have gave me I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of nothing. I mean, of course, I can
Maybe
think of
it's something
something,
you gotta
but
sit with.
yeah, I'll have to sit with it and really
Yeah, I
try
would
to
just
get down
sit
to
with
the,
it and reflect over it.
Yeah.
For me, I'm kind of on the same page. I'm kind of on the same page with you.
Yeah.
I don't even know my dad. Like at all.
I Bree's face.
I don't know.
Logical pace. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know my dad at all. My mom, in my almost 27 years, I've only met 3 people that she's dated. One that she's married to now. So I can't really say no, because like my mom wasn't like, oh, like I know what's going on. Like I met them or something, but I wasn't like around. I didn't like really see nothing that was going on, so I can't really say like that they really impacted me. Like I saw, like I said, I've met them, but it's not like I was really around, or either that, or I just don't remember.
How do you guys, if that's not something that, when did you form your own perception of how you
Through
envisioned
dating.
your relationship?
Through dating, through experience.
But you say you're not a person who dates.
No, but
so
I'm
how do you
saying
figure it
I
out?
know, like, just because I didn't take it too seriously and take it to that next step doesn't mean I wasn't, while I was dating, I wasn't watching what you were doing or like seeing you, like you move this way. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like how you doing this or that. I'm just finding things I don't like through experience and things I do like. Oh, I like that you like come over, and like when you come over, it's just like, all right, you just over here and it's just me and you, not really worried about like other stuff. Like if we like enjoy each other's time, if you got something to do, you might pick up and leave. If you got something to do, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just like
Through
little shit like that.
experiences.
Yeah, just through experience. Like I don't necessarily need anyone
Yeah.
to like tell me that. It's just this shit I've seen. Even if I wasn't like seriously like going
I
out
saw
on dates,
myself
just
really
being
as a baby
around,
daddy.
just being around people,
Deadbeat daddy.
No.
just being around like other like being around women is like, all right, I see you moving like this. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like you're like secretive around your phone and like shit like that. Like just like random shit like that. Just through experience, pretty much for the most part.
Well, I feel like my parents' relationship definitely kind of helped form my perception. I feel like my dad, he was, I feel like they both were very stern, firm parents. I feel like my mom was never very kind of like ever vulnerable. She always had to be strong. So that's what kind of I feel like she passed along to me was that, that strength. She just the rebelliousness I got from her, like just always having to kind of like stick to my guns about things I got from her. the independent woman who always has to make sure, your left hand don't know what your right hand doing. You need to take care of yourself type of thing. And, even though they split up when I was younger, but I always kind of just idealized just the idea of knowing that, okay, they did it this way, then I won't do it this way. Like, so I've always kind of been that rebel to challenge things. I always wanted to be like, okay, they did it this way, I'm gonna try it this way. So even though, they broke up, it didn't work out, I always felt like, it's something that I always, wanted to do it in my own way. But just the stability, the foundation that they formed together, I feel like that's something that I appreciate and I want it from my relationship. Despite them not being together, that taught me communication is key. How you communicate with one person may not be the same style. They did not communicate effectively, even though I feel like they were a great match. Maybe most divorced kids say that.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I
feel like they would have been a great match if they had a kind of, met each other at different phases or kind of learned different situations before they got with one another. But I do feel like, they were a good balance. My mom is kind of jokey. My dad's kind of firm. So, but just seeing them and, the marriage, the walking down the aisle is something that I wanted. But as far as my vulnerability, my strength can also be my downfalls in my relationship. I don't know when to kind of be vulnerable. So I felt like that's kind of been something in my relationship I have to kind of overcome and conquer. But other than that, the whole marriage thing, despite it being what it is, I still want it. And my kind of seeing my sisters and their relationships, and I just like the foundation, the kind of security of it all. And I've always kind of been just that lover. Like I want to put the most into my relationships. I want to see it go somewhere.